And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till a movie divides me as much as this. This ain't the movie that I wanted to see. Oh no, no, no. Some was boring, some was good, but a lot of it was awfully boring. What's up, guys? LQ here with the LQ Review, and I just watched Rocketman. And you know what? What I do here on my channel is I give you guys my opinion. My opinion on the movies that I watch, the TV shows that I watch. I give you guys my honest opinions. Because that's all that I have, is my opinions. I have nothing else. Nothing else to offer. If I were to go out and watch other critic reviews or read reviews online on Rotten Tomatoes, if I were to do any of that and then just regurgitate that, I'm not offering anything to the online film fan community. Because then I'd just be recapping what other people have said. I give my opinion on the movies and the TV shows that I see. Sometimes I agree with the masses, sometimes I don't. And I'm a very optimistic person. It's actually really difficult for a movie to disappoint me. It really is. If you will go back and watch my movie reviews, you'll see that most movies I give at least a somewhat positive review to. Very little. There's very few instances of me giving a negative reaction or a negative review to a movie, because I'm an optimistic person. I have that type of viewpoint on life. I want to look at something and take some good out of it. Even the bad movies that I don't like, I want to watch them and walk out of the theater and say, okay, this was good, this was good, this was good. I'm not one of those nerds that's going to walk out and be like, well, that wasn't right, that wasn't good, this was wrong. No, I try to find the positive stuff that I like, right? So, and that's what I try to focus on, is the positive stuff that I like. So, that being said, there's a lot of positive stuff in Rocketman, but I have to go against the masses. This is not a great movie. It's not a great movie. And I think part of that stems down to simply the life of Elton John. You know, when they were singing the songs during all the musical acts, I was into it and I was loving it because I love Elton John music. So every time they had a musical number, I was into it. The fantasy aspect of it, all the fantasy aspect that they brought into this movie, I was digging hardcore. But then they get into the kind of the biographical part of this movie. And every time they switched gears to that biographical part, I was bored. I was bored because I just didn't find the life of Elton John to be all that interesting. I just didn't. He's made some great music. He's a rock star. He's a superstar. But I did not find the biographical parts to be interesting. I just didn't. And that might, I don't know, some people might get mad and how do you not find Elton John's life interesting, and type it on their keyboard and leave the comments here and chastise me for not thinking that Elton John has lived a really interesting life. And he has, to be honest, he has lived an interesting life. He's lived the interesting life of a rock star. But the things that they chose to focus on in this movie, I just wasn't into. You know, they focused a lot on his love life, and a lot of that was heartbreaking. And some of it was sweet, and they focused a lot on his relationship with his dad. Okay, I mean, that's the relationship that every TV movie character has with their dads. I mean, that's just of course I'm being facetious here, but they weren't breaking any new ground with the dad relationship, or the mom relationship for that matter. The biographical parts just felt like things that we'd seen before, and we've seen done better. That being said, the musical pieces in this, I don't know that we have seen a lot better than this. These were some really fantastic musical pieces in this movie. Some fantastic musical performances, music moments, and I gotta tip my cap to Taron Egerton. Man, he was good in this. He embodied Elton John. He still looks like Taron Egerton, but he embodied Elton John. I forgot that I was watching Taron act, and it was Elton John. And that's what you want an actor to do, is become the role. And Taron Egerton made this his own, and I didn't care for the movie all that much, but I think he deserves a best actor nomination right now. We'll see what else, what other performances we have the rest of the year. But right now, as it sits right now, yeah, he deserves a best actor nomination because he became Elton John, and all of that was fantastic. Yeah, I was just bored by it. I was bored by lots of parts of this movie. There's between musical acts, I was usually bored, and that's too bad. And I think that the film ended about the time that I think Elton John's life really gets interesting. This is for me. Remember, it's all subjective, but I'm more interested in Elton John's later years. I would have liked to have seen a movie that covered, him meeting his husband and having a kid, and I'd like to have seen his relationship with the Mouse House, Disney. I'd like to have seen how his duet with Eminem came about. These are all things that I'd like to see, but instead we got to focus on the early years that I just didn't find very interesting. It was sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That's kind of a formula, and it's a formula for a reason. A lot of movies use it, and I just wasn't that into it. I think the other movies have done the sex, drug, rock and roll formula better. So yeah, it was unfortunate that those middle parts of the movie I was bored by, because I was really looking forward to this movie, and don't get me wrong, this movie is worth seeing because the musical performances are phenomenal. Taron Egerton's performance was phenomenal, but I'm sorry that I was bored. I was just bored through a lot of it. So, I don't know. That's my take on it. What did you guys think? Have you guys seen Rocketman? Let me know in the comments down below if you liked it. Maybe you think that I just missed the boat, that I missed the point. Maybe you think that that what I saw in this movie was just completely completely the opposite of what you felt in this movie. And that's okay. Movies are subjective. So let me know if you agree with me. Let me know if you think I'm completely off the rocker. But please subscribe to my channel. I'm really trying to get to that 100 subscribers. Like I said, I know it's small potatoes, that 100 subscribers means nothing. But, I'm kind of a goal-oriented guy, and I want to hit that 100. So that's kind of my short-term goal right now. So help me get there. Hit that subscribe button. And as always, thank you for being here at the LQ Review, where we talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we love to talk about. And until next time, we'll see you later.